Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to share the 2 interviews that I had with those who did a pilgrimage, as I got to be really curious about what really drives them to do it, because like walking 1,200 kilometers is unimaginable to me. One is from Spain, Adria, whom I met when I was visiting Uchiko town in Ehime, and another one is Pam from the States that I met in Ishiteji. And then I asked more intensively to Adria, and then about not only about why he's doing, but also many other like basic and also detailed stuff about Shikoku pilgrimage. And then to Pam, I've only asked about why she did it. But anyway, so the length is uneven, but I hope it's anyway going to be helpful and interesting to you. So okay, let's start. Can I ask where are you from and what's your name?
My name is Pam.
Pam.
Pamela.
Pamela, okay, I see.
Pamela Canistrari.
Okay.
And I'm from Florida.
Florida, I see.
In America.
Okay. So these are the questions for Pam, and the question in red is the one that I wanted to ask her the most. Is this your first time to do pilgrimage here?
In Japan, yes.
Okay. Well, in Japan means did it in somewhere else?
Yes, I did it the Camino de Santiago in Spain.
I see.
And then I did the Kumano Kodo in the Key.
Okay. Oh, I see.
And now I'm doing just a part.
Just part. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you come here like before?
No.
I mean, no? Okay. I mean, Japan.
No, I've never been to Japan.
Okay. So how long is your trip this time?
It's 1 month.
Oh, 1 month?
Yeah.
So are you planning to come back and then complete someday?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. There's a lot of places I want to go to.
Oh, I see.
But I would love to bring my daughter here to Japan.
Your daughter? Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
So what brought you, to do this pilgrimage?
Well,
that's actually the main question I want to ask.
Well, my husband passed away.
Uh-huh.
And my whole world, didn't make sense.
Okay. I see. I'm so sorry to hear that.
That's when I went on the Camino in Spain. And then someone on my very last day of the Camino told me about the Kumano Kodo.
Okay.
And so I waited another year, and I just walked that 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I said, while I'm in Japan, I want to visit Shikoku.
Oh, I see.
And do only part of it, because I don't have the time to do the whole thing.
I see.
Yeah. But it's spiritual.
Spiritual, okay, I see.
Yeah.
How do you feel when you are actually doing?
I feel really good.
Really good?
Yeah, I like being outside. And I like being in nature. And the peace and the quiet.
I see.
In the forest.
I see. Do you feel better about your experience of you having lost your husband?
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Walking alone has been really helpful.
Okay.
But it was very difficult in Spain. And then it's gotten a little easier on this trip.
Oh, how is it different?
Because when I walked the Camino de Santiago, I didn't really talk to anyone.
Okay.
Because I was so sad. So I was just walking and praying and doing my thing. And I met one person at the end, a good friend of mine now. But, and that was good.
Okay.
I didn't want to meet anyone. I didn't want to talk to anyone.
Okay.
I was very much doing my own thing. But then when I came to Japan, I had grown a whole year, and I met some wonderful people, and they helped me even more.
Oh, I see.
And so now, obviously, I'm talking to you.
Okay.
So I'm doing some good healing.
Oh, good. Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's good to walk in nature.
I see. How many temples have you explored?
Probably just 10.
10? Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
good,
it's
decent.
a lot.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I see.
But I have to get home, or else I'd stay and do all 88.
Okay. How many days left? until you go back?
8 days.
Oh, 8 days.
Yeah.
Will you fly from Matsuyama, Ehime?
No, I'm going to take a train and probably a bus and whatever back to Kyoto.
Oh, Kyoto? Okay, I see.
And then I'm going to stay there for a little bit and then go to Tokyo and
nice.
fly out
Oh, nice.
from Tokyo.
I see. Great.
Yeah.
Interesting. Then I expressed my gratitude to her, but it wasn't somehow recorded, so I really appreciate her for sharing her story. Okay, let's go to the next interview. Okay. Hey guys, so today I'm staying in Uchiko City and in a guest house called Uchiko Valley, and I met a gentleman from Spain who is doing a Shikoku pilgrimage. So which is, I'm very curious about this pilgrimage. Even though I don't do it by myself, but it's really good to ask things that I'm really curious about. So let me switch this to okay. Oh, thank you for joining this. Can I ask your name and where you're from?
I'm Adria, and I'm from Spain, from Barcelona.
Nice to see you. So these are the questions for Adria, which is about his Henro experience and thoughts related to the past, present, and the future. I know that's a lot of questions, but I believe that his answers were all very interesting. Very basic questions first. So this time, are you doing this by yourself?
Yeah, alone.
Okay, and when did you start and when are you going to finish it?
Well, I came last year,
Mm-hmm.
so I did the month of October last year, and I did half of it in a kind of unorganized way, but it's very flexible, apparently, the pilgrimage. And then this year, the whole month of September, the idea is to finish it, but as the weather is very hot, I'm going slower than I thought, so the planning is changing. So
I see.
the idea is to be very flexible. At least that's how I do it. There are other people that have everything super planned. I met other people last year that had every day with the exact number of kilometers, all the reservations done. I don't do it that way. I do it in a different way. So every day is kind of like a discovery of where I'm going to be next day. The next day, I don't know.
I see. So this time, so from where, which places are you visiting?
So this year I went right away from Kansai Airport to Tokushima, and then from Tokushima, after the typhoon, I went to Kochi, and I started from Temple 36, which I did not go last year, and then I did the whole south of the Kochi prefecture up to now that we are already in Ehime. So yeah, and I will next is 44 and 45 that are quite far from where we are now. And after that I will skip Matsuyama because I already did it last year. And then I need to do like a few temples in the middle that I skipped because they were like really hard for me last year. I was not that strong. And then the last ones I left them for the end of the trip. I want to do the last part at the end of the trip.
I see.
And
So
then maybe after that Koyasan, which is like the tradition. If I have time,
I
which
see,
is
I see.
unlikely.
I see. So this time, how many temples are you visiting? Like roughly?
Roughly, the last time I saw like 50, so it was like 30 whatever.
So this year, so like 30
Yeah,
something
like
left.
30.
Oh, I see.
I already saw like 12, I think, so I have like
I see.
15 more to see, something like that.
Wow, I see. So, like, how did you get interested in doing this pilgrimage?
So last year was the third time that I came to Japan. So the first time I did like the typical traditional tourist trip with all the main cities. The second time I went to Kyushu. And then the third time was obviously Shikoku. So when I started looking for information about Shikoku, the pilgrimage is like the first thing that you see. So then I started to get interested. We have in Spain the Camino de Santiago, which is something very similar to the Shikoku pilgrimage. So I am already familiar to this kind of thing. And I was like, hey, this is interesting. Also because it creates like a path and it creates like bullet points for you, like goals, tiny goals, and a big goal, which is doing everything.
I see.
But then of course it's impossible in 1 month. So I was like, last year I was like, as I cannot do everything, I will do half of it, and then I will skip some parts to see the big cities, because I want to see the big cities like Matsuyama, Takamatsu, Kochi.
I see.
So that's why I did that weird thing of skipping some parts.
I see.
It was because of that. And then mid-travel, I was like, I don't care. I'm going to come back again.
I see.
And do the rest.
Oh, I see. Do you mind if I want to ask that the pilgrimage you have in the Spain? What is it like? Have you tried that before?
I did a very, very tiny part. I'm not an expert, but I know many people that did it. It starts from the Pyrenees in France. It's a bit different from the Shikoku. Shikoku is like circular. In Spain, it has like many starting points, and then the road is kind of similar, the same in the end, and then all of them converge in Santiago de Compostela, which is the ending. Some people do the shorter one, and other people do the whole longer one. There's one that goes through the Pyrenees. There's a part that goes through Cantabria, which is like a place with mountains and forests that has a weather kind of similar to Japan.
Really?
In a way, it's very humid. So
I see.
In a way, it's similar. It goes through a city where my brother lives. So I very familiar with the vibe that creates in that city, at least. People that stay there, people that are walking, pilgrims. Yeah, but I never went to Santiago de Compostela. So I'm more familiar with Shikoku than with the pilgrims that is in my country. So it's kind of weird. But it's typical that you're interested in things that are from other countries.
True.
I would say that the Shikoku is harder.
I see.
I would say.
I see.
Well, at least for me, with the language barrier, for example, I speak a little bit of Japanese, so I have a skill. I can call and try to do reservations, for example.
Wow.
I did not do that last year, and the experience is completely different.
And did you try to learn Japanese for this?
No, so I knew a bit. I thought that I was not able to speak proper Japanese, enough Japanese to be able to call and do reservations. And then during the trip, I saw that I could. But most of the trip was planned without calling, just with a website.
I see.
Everything by email, everything by website. That was like limiting myself on how many places I could get reservations and the type of reservation and the relationship with the owners of the places. So, for example, Minshukus, not so much. And this trip I did a lot of Minshukus, which enhanced the experience. For the record, I studied for a year, but only like 1 hour a week or something like that.
Like when was it? A long time ago?
2 years ago.
Okay, I see.
So 3 years ago I studied for 1 year. So then it's been 2 years without studying.
I see.
So I feel like I know some grammar that I don't know how. It's hard for me to use it, even if I
understand.
I know it.
I
understand it.
see.
But then to me, use it in a sentence live. Then when I leave the conversation, it's like, I should have said in this way or the other way.
I see.
But also practice helps. The first day I was a bit more.
I see. Yeah. Did you study that in your country or in Japan?
In Barcelona.
I see.
With a Japanese teacher.
Oh wow, I see.
But we were like more having fun than really, or at least I'm a very bad student, so I was not studying a lot. It was just like for fun. A bit conversational as well. That's why my writing skills and my reading skills are awful. It's a bit more conversational.
I see.
Which was kind of the goal of studying it, to be able to communicate better. Because when I came to Japan the last times, the first trips, I was traveling with someone that spoke Japanese really well.
I see.
And then I was always behind, and he was doing all the talking.
I see.
And then I felt like a bit disconnected from. Also, traveling alone, you need to do it by yourself, everything, which is something that helped me a lot to need to plan by myself, find reservations or transportation by myself. Which is something that you really need if you want to do the pilgrimage, because
I see.
Planning is important, even if you don't plan long term. Planning every day or each day properly, or at least if I walk this distance, then I will reach here and I will sleep here. If for whatever reason I cannot make it because my leg hurts or whatever, then I have this bus stop here, or I can do this, I can do that. So yeah, you need to have like plan B, plan C, just in case.
I see. So how, when you start getting interested in doing this, how did you like prepare actually, before coming here and after coming here?
I did not prepare that much.
Okay.
So I did walk a bit to get my legs a bit stronger. I usually walk a lot, but a bit more, just to be more prepared. Backpack, the first trip, it was like too heavy.
Oh, I see.
I got some recommendations from people that did the Camino. I was like, don't bring this, bring that.
I see.
People that have experience walking long distances
I
were
see.
like, don't walk more than 40 kilometers a day.
Oh.
And it's like, 40 kilometers, are you crazy? And then I start walking like 15, 20, 25, 30. And then for 2 days in a row, I walked 40 and 42.
Oh my gosh.
And that was a mistake. And then I was like, to my friend, you told me not to walk 40 kilometers. I felt so strong that I did it twice in a row. And then the next day I was completely broken.
Okay, wow.
So bad idea.
I see.
When someone gives you an advice, follow it. And then learning to do the back much smaller, less heavier.
I see.
That's important. Not bringing stuff that you don't need. That's my, the learning I did from the first trip to the second.
May I ask your age, by the way?
I'm 40.
40. Okay, I see.
40,
Have you done like sport or regularly do like exercise?
Climbing.
Climbing. Wow.
Climbing is like very explosive, so it's completely unrelated.
Really?
It doesn't really help me. Well, the muscles of the back, you got them stronger, and then with the back, maybe it helps a bit, but on the legs, not that much.
I see.
It's more a resistance thing, the pilgrimage.
I see.
Climbing is, in my case, I do bouldering, so it's more explosive. Like
I see.
Short routes.
I see.
So I don't think it helps that much.
I see.
But yeah, I walk a lot. That's another thing. I walk a lot, so the preparation I had to do was like only walking a bit more for a few days, for a few weeks before the trip. But I don't think you need a lot of preparation if you're healthy, if you already do something. If you don't do anything and you're not that healthy and you're not that used to walk, I would recommend to avoid the harder routes.
I see.
But preparation,
I see.
not so much. Like I want to go here. The preparation is having the tools. So, for example, knowing how to properly use Google Maps, which seems absurd, but you can do a lot of stuff in Google Maps. Saving trips, even having all the temples already put on Google Maps. You can like pre-download those kind of maps to know exactly where the temples are without having to look for them all the time. Want to go start places, heard putting pins on places. And then apps like GAIA GPS for the hiking, for the trails, which controls most of the trails. In Japan, during this trip, I only saw one short route that was not properly mapped on GPS. Only one. Short.
Wow.
So, you can just go from one mountain to another mountain and in the middle of nowhere, and it's going to find the trails. And then it gives you how many kilometers are you going to walk, the elevation,
I see.
the total. Several elevations.
I see.
It's very useful, and it helps you to plan. If you feel stronger, I can walk 20 kilometers in an elevation of 600 meters, or no, I'm completely broken, I cannot do it. That helps. And then I went to Okayama.
I see.
I'm from Okayama to Osaka, so I did a route with a bike. So I also tracked it, because you can track hiking and bike and everything. And this is this trip. So
I see.
August and then September, and then you can put it on the map and you can see it and everything. You can, while you're tracking, you keep tracking, and then it gives you hiking and biking or whatever.
I see.
And then you can pause it, you can finish, or you can delete it. That's the idea.
What was the name of this app?
GAIA GPS.
GAIA GPS. Okay, I see.
It's a GPS app.
It's GPS app.
For hiking.
Okay, I see.
And then you can use it for the Henro. But
I see.
But also, for example, if So if you are, for example, let's say here in Temple 44. Of course, if you don't have this information in the app, you don't see it. So you will have to find the exact place without knowing that Temple 44 is here. But you can find it by the roads and everything. And then if I'm in 44, I want to go to 45. Then it creates the route. And then you can say, no, I want to go through here, for example. And then it creates the path. So you can kind of choose where you want to go, and then it gives you the elevation and the total distance and total elevation gain if you go up and down. And then of course you can make the trip even longer. Of course this doesn't make sense now, but the idea is that you can do more and more and more, and then cancel, gone, and you can start again. And this is kind of how I plan the trip.
I see.
From here to here, 30 kilometers. It's too hot, I'm tired, 30 kilometers, no way. Either I do 10 by bus or I just split it in half and I do 2 days.
I see.
Oh, in the middle there's a super cool city with a lot of stuff to do. Okay, let's split it. No, this is very boring and roads. Let's skip the roads with the bus.
I see. There is also an app called HenroHelper that gives you great information about the Henro routes, places to stay, and many more. The app includes the information about the routes introduced by this book called Shikoku Japan 88 Route Guide. So Adria said he uploaded the information about the places he is going to visit to the app so that it creates the routes just like he showed.
And then several websites to make reservations. HenroHouse, Henro.org are the main ones that I use for reservations. HenroHouse, you can do it in the same website. It's by email, and the reservation is instant if there is a space in the plates. You can see the calendar and the availability and everything.
Oh wow, that's
And
great.
with Henro.org, you can see the email or you can see the phone. This year I can call, so I'm just calling the telephones and asking 1 day in advance. Sometimes it's enough. There are many more places in that website.
Okay.
Some are a bit more expensive. It's
I
cheaper.
see.
It depends if you want to go super cheap or
I
more
see.
expensive.
I see.
But yeah, I usually try to go cheap, and then if plan B or plan C needs to come up, then if it's more expensive for 1 day, it's okay. That's pretty much all. And then Google a bit of each place where you're going, what to see, because I'm not only doing the pilgrims, I'm also seeing castles, I'm also seeing museums sometimes. I prioritize the pilgrims, but I also see other things.
I see.
So it's kind of, the pilgrimage is the excuse to do tourism.
I see.
Apart from the clothes or the bag, the stuff that you bring from your country, in some temples, for example in Temple 1, there is a lot of stuff that you can buy. I got the sugoroku and the stick. I would say that this is more like a matter of showing that I'm a pilgrim, a Henro, but this is extremely useful.
Oh, really?
This covers you a lot from the sun. If you sweat, it's not that bad because you get a lot of air from here. This is really helpful. I did not get it in the first trip in the beginning because I thought it was like maybe not that useful. And then half in the middle of the trip I got it.
Okay.
And the difference is huge. That's really helpful. It covers a lot much sun that a regular hat. And then the stick is really helpful for a lot of reasons. Not only helps you go up and down a lot because there are a lot of elevations in the middle of a mountain with a terrain that is a bit unstable. It's good to test it. Also, in some mountains there can be mamushi snakes.
Okay, I see.
So if you put your stick, you're creating vibrations in the ground, so they leave. This helps you not get bitten by a snake. I saw 2 snakes this trip, and the last year I saw a couple more, and they always are already leaving when I'm approaching, and I think it's because of the stick. Also, this noise. You cannot have that, of course, but by default it comes attached, and I have it attached to make this noise. This is mostly for monkeys.
Monkeys.
Shishi.
I see.
They usually flee when they hear you approaching before you even see them.
I see.
That's better than just encountering them. There are people that recommended me having like a whistle or firecrackers or whatever to make them
free.
go away. I prefer to just make noise.
Oh, okay.
Have them leave. It may sound stupid, but when you are in the middle of a mountain, kilometers from civilization, and you see a monkey, it's better to just make them to scare them away before you even see them.
I see.
And also, this is supposed to be like Kobodaishi itself, the creator.
Oh,
of
I see.
So you feel like you have a partner
I
while
see.
you're walking alone.
I see.
And when I don't have the stick, because today I came here, I left my stuff, I showered, and then I went walking to explore the city. And I was not walking with my stick, and I was feeling like I was missing something.
I see. Oh. So can you get these in every temple?
No. Temple 1 has a huge store. Temple 10 also has a lot of stuff. And I saw other temples like 27 and 38 also had a lot of stuff.
I see.
But not all of them. I would say that a fifth of them have stuff. And not all of them have all the stuff. Sometimes they have them, but at that moment they don't.
Oh, I
So
see.
it can also happen that you want the hat, and then in that temple that they have a store, they are, they sold them out. So
I see.
I would recommend to buy everything in the first one
I
when
see.
you start.
Okay.
Usually people start from the first one.
I see. Yeah.
Next to the first one there is the store. I would recommend to get at least the hat, the
These two?
sugasa, and the stick
I see.
there, and the Nokyo Show, of course,
Oh, okay.
which is the main book,
Mm.
which starts from Koya-san, which is
Oh, okay.
supposedly the first and last one that you should visit. I'm saving it for the last.
Oh, I see.
And then each double page is a temple. In this case, I got the smaller one because it's less heavy.
I see.
And this one has like a illustration of the temple, the number, and then you get the stamps and the calligraphy.
Did you say you started from the number one?
Yeah, I started from number one. And what I did, for example, is here I have the last one I did. And then this one I don't have it. This one I don't have it, which are the ones that I'm going to do in the next 2 days.
Oh, I see.
But the next ones I have them because the last year I already went to Matsuyama and I did all of them. So I'm doing them in a weird order. I met people that were doing it backwards.
Oh, yeah. I saw.
And I also
see,
met people
see.
that were doing some of them twice or thrice. And I think I have some that so here, for example, I like this one, so I did it twice.
Oh, okay.
So the second time I went there, I asked for a second stamp. You pay again, and then they put another stamp.
Oh, so they have like a different stamp for like
the stamp usually is very similar.
Oh, okay.
It could change depending if the stamp got broken and then they change it. But you can see different styles sometimes. But it's usually the same one.
Oh,
and then
okay.
I met people that did this trip many times, maybe by car. And then they have this page completely red because of the amount of stamps, dozens of stamps in the same page. Then it's completely red, which is a bit insane for me. I'm not planning to do that. I just want to finish it.
I see.
For now.
Well, is there any reason why you like that temple, especially?
This is because last year I did not plan anything, as I said.
Yeah.
And then the first day I did 1 to 7, and then I was so tired that I left 7, where I had a reservation to sleep there.
Oh, I see.
And I left and I went somewhere else, and I realized the next day that I
made a reservation.
So I was like, what? I was so tired that I could not even think. And then it was funny to me, so I wanted to go again and say, I apologize because I didn't come for the reservation that I did last year. So I went there again just to apologize.
Wow.
There are other temples that I saw more times. 21 is my personal favorite, Kairyuji, in the middle of the mountains. So I went again and I have the stamp twice.
Why did you like it more than the other ones?
Because for me, the way up is amazing. The way down is the best part of the trip that I did. Beautiful, and there are like different ways of going going down. The road one, no, I like the ancient path. The ancient path in the middle of the mountain is beautiful. A bit hard, but really beautiful. And the temple itself, it's at the top of the mountain. Huge trees, beautiful buildings, huge complex.
I see.
So for me, that's the best one. I usually ask everyone when I meet people that are doing Henro, which one is their favorite.
Interesting.
And everyone has different ones. But,
I see.
Most people, 21, have it like, 21 is really good.
Interesting. なるほど。I see. Which season was it? Like last year when you did
From
like
the middle of October to
okay.
the middle of November.
Oh, okay.
And this year from middle of August, which was insane in hindsight. It was a mistake. Don't come in no, because all the guides say the same thing. Don't come in summer. It's too hot.
Yeah.
Come from this date. But those guides, I don't think they have in mind climate change. And the weather in Japan is changing in everywhere, right? Everywhere is changing.
Yeah.
But now, I if the guide recommends to come in September, just delay it like a couple of weeks.
I see.
Or 3 weeks.
I see.
October, half of October to beginning of November or first week of November is the best
timing.
But if you need to walk for 40 days, of course you need to walk with colder weather or warmer weather. I would recommend to do like half and half and put the best weather in the middle. And if in the beginning you're hotter and then in the end it's colder, but it's better than being extremely hot. I had to walk for 4, 5, 6 hours under 54, 53, 55 degrees. Even with that, even with the hat, it's insane. I mean, it's too hot. I got even a bit dizzy sometimes, so I don't recommend walking 5 hours under 35 degrees.
Can you briefly explain what to actually do when you get to the temple?
Yeah, there are a lot of steps. It depends on if you feel more comfortable or less comfortable doing them. If you're not a Buddhist, I'm not a Buddhist, so I don't want to bother anyone. So the steps that I do depend on if there are people or not. If there are people that are there, I try to just do my donation, do a small prayer, and I leave without bothering them. If there is no one, then I usually, put the candle or the incense.
Put the what?
A little small candle on the incense.
Oh, candle, I see.
And then there are like those tiny papers they give you, and you can put your name and date and a small prayer and put it in there. Sometimes I don't put it because there are people and I don't want to bother them. Or I just wait, and then when they leave, but I don't get super stressed. I'm very flexible. I saw people that have it like very, like I do this, first this, and then
strict
that.
way.
I try to be strict in, entering from 30, cleaning my hands, and then, doing the prayer. But
I see.
I'm kind of flexible.
I see. That's good.
If there is no one and there is a huge bell, I ring the bell. If there are people, I try not to ring the bell.
I see. I see.
I don't want to bring a lot of attention to me.
I see.
But being a Gaikokujin, some people always like, are interested. Where you come from? Are you doing everything? And then we talk. So,
I see. So this is obviously really hard to do. Just walking so much. So while you walk, you don't listen to music, right?
If I'm in a road, in a busy road, yes. If I'm not
you listen? Okay.
In a busy road, I don't want to hear the
I see.
Especially in the tunnels. In the tunnels, it's really loud. Then I put music.
I see.
If I'm in the middle of a forest or in a beautiful path, I like to listen to the nature.
Nice.
With one exception. There was a tiny part of the forest that was packed of suzumebachi.
Oh, wow, my
And they
gosh.
were busy buzzing my
That's
ears.
so scary.
So I was getting scared. So I put the music.
Uh-huh.
I put music to not hear
Okay.
the suzumebachi, and I was just like walking
Oh my
like this.
gosh.
Like I don't want to hear them buzz because if they buzz and I do this, maybe they will sting me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only beautiful mountain path. But I was like with music to not hear anything. Yeah.
I see. Wow. Glad you survived. You didn't get any bite?
No.
No?
No.
That's
So
good.
if you're careful with snakes, shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
With suzumebachi, it was that part that was packed with suzumebachi, but I think it was because it was still August. In October, I did not see
I see.
any suzumebachi last year. So I think if you go later on, middle of September to October, November, I don't think you should have any issues with them.
I see.
And the other animals, I don't think it's that dangerous. The risk is there.
Oh, okay.
You need to accept it, which is part of the pilgrimage.
Uh-huh.
The pilgrimage originally was like, as a pilgrim, I accept death. I accept that I can die, and then I do it's one of the reasons, right? Or one of the mindsets that pilgrims had a long time ago. It was really dangerous doing it back then.
Yeah.
So when you did it, in fact, if you died, the stick, when someone found you, that was your grave marker.
Oh, I see.
So if longest time ago, if you were walking and you saw sticks, that means that someone died there.
Oh, wow.
And it was something that it was happening like often
I
because
see,
the
I see.
road, the paths were really dangerous.
I see.
Now it's not that much. So I in my head sometimes I had this conflict. Like I see a suzumebachi, I panic, and then it's like I should be, willing to die or be prepared. Be ready to die. That's why you wear white and everything. Is like
I see. That's the meaning. I see.
You should be like ready, and then you see a tiny bug and it's like, oh. So yeah, there is like a contradiction there.
I see.
I'm aware of it. I'm trying to work on it.
Oh, I see. Are you doing anything special to take care of your body while doing this pilgrimage? Because like for example, do you do like massage or exercise? Like how do you say? After the long time walking or something.
Yeah, I try to rest every few kilometers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I try to drink a lot because and then massages. Usually when I finish the day, I shower, and after showering, I try to do a bit of a massage.
Oh, I see.
Stretching a bit, not so much. I don't want to break. Depends on your flexibility.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, not so much. I should probably do more.
Oh, okay.
Also depends on your age. If you're older,
I see.
I recommend to do more massages and stretching. If you're younger, maybe you recover faster.
I see. If that is okay to touch like the finance
Yeah, sure.
of this trip, like so how much is your budget for the whole trip, and then how much usually do you spend for a day?
So I don't have a budget.
Okay.
I will spend
Great.
whatever I need to spend.
That's great.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I have some savings.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to.
Spend for the other stuff. Yeah.
But it's true that I don't want to be thinking of the budget every day, all the time. Every time I do purchase something. But it's true that there was a few days where I spent a bit more than I was expecting, and then I did like a bit of retrospective, like, oh, why did I spend on? Or how much did I spend? If I spend this amount every day, how much it is? Can I afford that? And then like, oh, I should spend less than this every day or more than.
I see.
So yeah.
What caused you to spend more than you expected on those days?
Food.
Good
food.
Oh, okay. I see.
like I don't know. You arrive super late to a place. There's no restaurant open.
Okay.
There's only a conveni, and you eat a shitty 400 yen, whatever, obento.
Yeah.
And the next day the same. And then the next day is like, man, I want to have a good lunch. A super fancy Unagi place. 5,000 yen. Fuck it, let's do it. And then I get the unagi, and then afterwards, like, oh my god, I spent 5,000 in one meal. Why did I do that? But the unagi was so good.
That's good.
So yeah, that's the main reason.
I see.
Some presents, but not so much.
I see.
Presents are extra weight on your back, so I try to do them at the end.
Okay.
But sometimes, I got a few things, but it's mostly.
You mean the gifts for your friends?
Presents for
families?
Gifts for my family and friends.
I see.
But I don't plan.
Okay, I see.
Having a gift for everyone. Usually, if I see something that I think it's good, I get it. If it's really cheap or if it's small and it doesn't weigh that much, then I got it. For example, I have 3 brothers that play guitar.
Oh, I see.
So picks, guitar picks.
Nice.
They're extremely cheap. They
Super
are super
cheap.
small. And they don't weigh anything. So it's the perfect present. I already have them.
I see.
But today I was in a shop and the woman was like, "Oh, this is super cool." It's like, "Yeah, but it's huge. Where do I put it?"
I see. I see. What's your favorite food so far you have had? Like in Japan and in Shikoku, especially.
My favorite food is unagi.
Oh, I see.
But in Japan, I like to eat a lot of okonomiyaki.
Oh.
Because in Spain, it's really hard to eat okonomiyaki.
Something like that.
To find it.
I see.
And when you find it, it's not that good. It's not that it's not good. It's that it doesn't taste the same.
Oh,
it's completely different.
Oh.
You can find unagi that it's kind of similar. Of course, not that good, but it's kind of similar.
I see.
But okonomiyaki is really hard. And I really like it. So when I come to Japan, I try to eat as much okonomiyaki. And then, of course, when I go somewhere, I try to ask for the typical traditional dish there. If soba is famous here, then I will eat soba. If it's udon, then I will eat udon. Also with the weather, super hot, hot food, it's a no.
Okay.
So I'm eating cold soba.
Cold soba. Nice.
I try to eat properly at lunch, and then dinner, if it's a bit more shitty, then I'm okay with it.
I see.
To balance the budget without thinking on the price.
Okay.
Just like,
I see.
This good, this not that good, and it will balance itself.
Okay.
Sometimes.
I see. On average, how much do you spend usually?
I think that
including like a stay.
Yeah, including everything. I calculated it. I think it was. Yeah, I think I reached like 50-60 euros.
Oh, okay. Also roughly.
And then I was like, that's probably too much, because on the days that I spend less, I can spend like 20 euros.
Oh, wow. I see.
That's cheap.
Wow.
That's really cheap.
Including food?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it depends if you are walking the whole day and you eat like an onigiri or so sometimes bad planning can make the day be really cheap.
I see.
And then the next day you eat unagi and the budget goes to 60 euros.
But 20-30 euro would be like 4,000 いくらだ 4,500 円
Yeah, I slept for 2,000 yen.
Oh, 2,000 yen? Really?
That's not the average. The average would be 4,000.
4,000, 5,000. Oh, I see.
Something like that.
So,
but if you're not careful, you could go easily to 7,000.
yeah, sure.
But if you plan accordingly, you can
see.
find for 3,000.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Cheaper, it's not the number. So that's why I'm saying that I think that I could spend 40, 50, and then if I spend more, it's because I'm spending it in food. But yeah, I would say that the average is like 50.
I see.
It depends if you grab trains, buses,
I see.
drink a lot of Pocari Sweat because you're sweating all the time. Then you spend more.
Do you find the place to stay for night on your bag, or do you use like a specific app?
Last year I used a lot HenroHouse, which is really good because it's like one click and it's done. You don't need confirmation or anything.
How do you call it?
HenroHouse.
HenroHouse. Okay. I see.
That's really useful, but it's a bit limited because there's not a lot of them.
Okay.
So there are some parts of the trip where there's nothing, and then you need to find them somewhere else. If you look booking.com or other places, usually more like Western style places, a bit more expensive.
I see.
So Henro.org is also very good. It has a lot of minishukus and other smaller places.
That's where you find.
Yeah,
I see.
In Henro.org, sometimes there is not an email, so you need to
Call. I see.
and that's where the survival skills.
I see.
Because if you ask if they speak English,
Yeah.
most of the time it's like no.
Yeah.
So the survival skills, at least, but to do a reservation, you don't need to learn the whole language.
I see. Yeah,
you can just learn how to say hi. I want to do reservation. I'm alone.
Yeah.
We are two.
Yeah.
It's for tomorrow or
I
for
see.
2 days or
I
for
see.
whatever. And some of them will probably hang if the conversation goes crazy. But
I see.
I don't think it's that hard. I thought it was harder last year, and
I see.
this year I'm doing it almost every day by phone.
I see. Like what do you seek, by doing this?
Middle-age crisis, I don't know.
Really? Interesting.
I don't know. I like walking. I always like walking. I like Japan. I'm liking Shikoku a lot. I think it's like a different Japan. I saw Honshu and I thought that I knew Japan, and then I went even to Kyushu and I thought, Kyushu is a bit more rural, but Shikoku is really different, especially in the south. You see like many buildings that are abandoned. The population is getting smaller and older. All the young people went to the big cities.
Yeah.
So, the feeling is different. Some people that like people out here found the life in Tokyo or Osaka where it was like too stressful. And they went back to Shikoku for a more relaxed way of life.
I see.
So this vibe, I enjoy a lot. So that's the reason I came back again, because I liked it so much. The first time was more exploring, like I want to see Shikoku. I like to walk. I will walk and I will do a part of it. And if I don't do it entirely, it's fine. And then while I was walking, I was like, no, I'm going to do everything. I want to do everything. It's like also completing the book. It's like the satisfaction of completing it.
I see.
Also, I wanted to go to Koyasan, and I did like 3 trips, but I did not go to Koyasan yet. So now I'm saving it for when I finish, because it's supposed to be like the last step. Finishing it, and after that going to Koyasan.
I see.
Yeah. Also, going alone, those 2 trips, the last year and this year, is the first time I'm coming alone. And coming alone is forcing me to speak in Japanese.
I see.
And people in Shikoku don't speak English that much. So this is also
best place to kind of force you to practice.
Helps me practice. It's even if my Japanese is completely broken, but it makes me a bit better. And also the communication, it's better.
I see.
Not through a phone with the translate a couple of sentences and then you get bored and they get bored. So it's better. So then I feel like my connection to the people is better now.
I see.
Also, if you're alone, people approach you more than if you are with someone. So it's a combination of better experience the place, better experience the people, walking, which I like, and also completing, because I like calligraphy.
I see. I see.
And then the calligraphy part is also important. So having everything is also, I think it's like a goal to have in life.
I see.
And that's the crisis having like having like a goal in your life because you feel you feel empty inside.
I see. Is that kind of feeling coming from your work, or like what do you think about it?
Good question. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, good question. So I guess that I'm satisfied with my life, but at the same time, you always want something more. This is not permanent, of course. It's just a trip, but you can use your free time in many different ways. Traveling is learning, meeting people, seeing people living their lives in a different way. I think you're never old enough to learn more and see the world. Yeah, I really enjoy it. So it's a combination of wanting that experience at the same time enjoying it. So it's a win-win.
I see. Great. So doing this pilgrimage, has it changed your mindset of life, or what kind of change?
I mean, every experience
Okay.
is changing your life.
Okay.
Then it is changing it more or less.
Okay.
I would say that I would say that I'm in a moment of my life where I think I kind of needed this going outside of my comfort zone,
Okay.
trying new stuff, trying different stuff, doing stuff that is hard and putting the effort
I see.
to feel like I can manage by myself to do like this kind of long
Okay.
adventures.
I see.
And
I see.
in many ways, I think it opened my mind also in terms of how I see Japan now and Japanese, and also speaking a bit the language also have me getting better feedback from how Japanese people live their lives, even if it's just a bit. So now I'm a bit frustrated. I want to learn more Japanese to be able to talk more and get even more feedback. That's my main feedback from the trip. Like, you need to learn more Japanese. You need to be better. You need to talk better. Yeah.
Do you think if someone who cannot speak Japanese at all, do you think he or she can do this pilgrimage alone?
Yeah, I mean, the survival skills, a phone, Google Translate can give it to you, but then your interactions are going to be very basic. There are some people that are very willing to talk without translate, and they are patient. Other people not so much. Then that part of the population, you kind of lose them. But it also happens to me. I start speaking my broken Japanese, and some people is like, I don't want to do the effort of talking with your broken Japanese. So it also happens. I also lose some part of the.
I see.
But yeah, nowadays with internet and with Google Maps and Google Translate, I think
it's possible.
It's much easier.
I see.
It was possible before, but it was a lot more work. Without the guide, without Google Maps.
I see.
If you're lost, and when a bus comes and from where you don't know. But now with Google Maps, you can see all the schedules and everything. Now it's much easier.
I see.
Way easier. So
I see. Anything you think you should mention to those who thinking about coming to Japan to do the pilgrimage?
The video that I recommended you.
Okay.
It's a very good video to highlight how it feels to do the trip. And then the information, there are some parts that are lacking, so you need to do your own research. It gives you like a hint of everything,
I see.
but then you need to do your own research. But the overall feeling of walking the pilgrimage is really well put in that video. So if you're a person that you're interested in walking the pilgrimage, or you're thinking of starting, watch that video and maybe watch other videos of people doing it, and then you will see if you are attracted to that or not. If you are willing to do the effort of doing all the research and the effort of actually walking or not. And then you can always do it by car or by train or by bus.
I see.
Of course, doing by train or by bus, maybe you don't do them all, because there are some parts that are really hard.
I see.
But my recommendation would be to just come here, do some part of it. If you enjoy it, then you can always come back and do the rest.
I see.
Yeah, last year I had a tent and a sleeping bag, and I did not use it, so I ended up giving it away in a camping ground. There were some people who were like, my back is going to break if I keep this around.
I see.
And it was another recommendation, like, in Japan you need a tent. Don't bring the tent. I did not listen. I bring the tent. Like
that's a mistake. I don't need it.
I see.
Having places like this that are so cheap. I mean, you can go cheaper if you sleep in your sleeping bag, but in October, probably you don't need a tent because it's not that cold at night. In November, then yeah, I would probably or a good sleeping bag that covers completely, or only leaves you. But sleeping outside, the part of the experience of the trip is being here, talking to other people. So if you sleep alone in a tent, you're kind of losing that. And also, there's not so many places to sleep to put the tent.
Oh, I see.
I thought there was more, and that's why I got the tent. But in the end, there's not so many.
I see.
It's too heavy for the use that you're going to use, even if you want to use it a lot. So that's why I gave it away.
I see. Yeah, I got ready. Okay, again. Have a safe trip, man. Okay, have a safe trip.
Thank you so much for watching to the end. Please let me know how you felt about the video in the comments. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Please let me know how you thought about the video, and if you like it, please share it with your friends and families.